The Pomodoro Technique, how does it work, who is it for, and 20 years later, how effective is it really? All things we're going to cover today to help you get a bit more productive and get back to actually doing. So a young Francesco Cirillo in the late 1980s, procrastinating like the rest of us, or so I'd like to think, ends up creating this method of time blocking we now call the Pomodoro Technique, after first using a kitchen timer shaped like a tomato to combat that ever so fleeting focus. So by now you're actually wondering, what is it all about? Well, I got you. Let's get into it. There's 6 steps to the method. Step 1, decide on the task to be done. Step 2, set the Pomodoro timer, typically for 25 minutes. Step 3, work on the task. Step 4, end work when the timer rings and take a short break. Very important. Step 5, go back to step 2 and repeat until you complete 4 Pomodoros. After 4 Pomodoros, you have allotted yourself a 20 to 30 minute break. Repeat step 2 once that break is done, if you still have that task to finish or your day is done. So straightforward enough, let's talk about it. What, who, when? What, who, when is this for? What? This is for getting work done in a time block format, taking the decision fatigue out of a large project and or task. Now, who is this for? Anyone who's having trouble focusing on the task, who hates the task ahead, or who simply has no clue where to begin. You're gonna find a lot of times that we're more overwhelmed than we are lazy. Maybe, hopefully. Now, there's endless cases where the system might be right for you. The most obvious that come to mind are when we're dreading the steps necessary to finish the task we know we need to get done, when we know we need to get something done or lacking the energy, lacking the drive, and then my favorite, beating up my arch enemy, Mr. Creative Block. So is this method, after 20 years, still valuable? Absolutely. If I'm on an island with one method to choose, the Pomodoro Technique is probably the one for its simplicity and easy application. Now, a little bonus tip right here. The power is in the limiting of your time. I believe that the best solutions come from limits and constraints. Think of someone like Jimi Hendrix. He first learned guitar on a 1-string ukulele for the first couple of years, later becoming one of the most influential guitarists of all time. Think of someone like Phil Knight, created Nike simply because he was about to lose his partnership with a thriving Japanese brand, becoming one of the most influential shoe brands of all time. Limiting time in this case frees you to be solution-minded to get started on what actually matters. In my last video, I talked about dopamine and how it fuels procrastination. I'm gonna link it above. That way, if you need more tips and tricks, you know where to find it. Go create, be great. Peace.